Got about 20 minutes. I'm a little late. I'm sorry for that, guys. I wanted to get started at 5:30. I think I am going to run, grab a topping off of my coffee. All right, sorry about the coffee run. Oh, I seem to have made it back pretty quickly. All right, so we're starting today Matthew 8, or Matthew 17:21. Okay, now I did this on my morning short, so if you've already listened to that, you know what I'm getting ready to talk about. And this is 17:21. Howbeit this kind goeth out, but by prayer and fasting. Now, what is he talking about here? Well, he's talking about the casting out of demons. Okay, if I go back up, verse 18, Jesus rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then verse 19, then came the disciples of Jesus apart and said, why could not we cast him out? Okay, Jesus answers unto them. Okay, and good morning, whoever hopped on. And Jesus said unto them, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit, this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting. This is removed in the NIV, in the ESTV, in the American Standard. This verse is removed. In 22, and in most translations, it jumps straight from 20 to 22. And you'll see, and while they abode in Galilee, Jesus said unto them, the Son of Man shall be betrayed into the hands of men. Good morning, everybody that just hopped on. We're talking about verses that are removed. This one right here is Matthew 17:21. If you're in the NIV, you should look in your NIV for Matthew 17:21 and see if it's there. Howbeit, this kind goeth out not, but by prayer and fasting. Okay? So it is telling you that the only way to get rid of the demonic possession is through prayer and fasting. But this has been removed in most versions. Why? Okay, let's go to the next one, which is Matthew 18:11. Okay, for the Son of Man is come to save that which is lost. Okay, well, what's the context? Why did they remove that, you ask? Well, let's read above it. We'll start at 10. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father, which is in heaven. For the Son of Man is come to save that which is lost. Okay? And then 12. How think ye, if a man have 100 sheep and one of them be gone astray, doth he not leave the 99 and goeth into the mountain and seeketh that which is gone astray? Okay, it is specifically removing that God, Jesus Christ, came down here to save us that were lost. Okay, why? This goes back to Why is it removing out the prayer and fasting? Why is it removing out the Son of Man came down to sacrifice himself from us? Thank you, Chef Kelly. And the elixir. We're going to go to Matthew 23:14 now. Because that's the next one. And this is just a list of 16 of them that I've got here. There's 100 and some that have been removed, like 114 that were removed totally. 14. Okay. This one's a big one. Jesus Christ died for Muslims too, elixir. Verse 14. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayer. Therefore ye shall receive the greater damnation. Why is this being removed? Jesus Christ is definitely the only prophet that is worthy of being worshipped. Me and you can get into a discussion about that at another time. This is verses that are removed, Andy James. So if you have an NIV Bible, go to Matthew 23, verse 14, and see if you have it. This is telling the scribes and Pharisees, the hypocrites, that they're devouring widows' houses. They're making pretense, long prayer, and they shall receive a greater damnation for doing it. Why is that removed? Why is it removing the damnation of the Pharisees for this? And it does say, woe unto you above it and woe unto you below it, continuing to talk about the scribes and Pharisees. But there is 3 specific woes unto the scribes and Pharisees that Jesus says. This is words of Jesus. They're being removed. Okay? Why are they removing the words of Jesus? Why are they removing instructions on how to cast out demons? Why are they removing that Jesus came down? It's an important thing to understand why they do this. The next one we're going to is Mark 9:44, and then Mark 9:46. If you guys want to follow along. Mark 9. That's 46. All right. This is also words of Jesus here. Mark 9:44. Where the worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. Okay, what's above this? Okay, so let's go up 2 verses. 42. And whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it is better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and he were cast into the sea. And if thy hand offend thee, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter into life maimed than having 2 hands to go into hell, into the fire that never shall be quenched, where their worm dieth not, and their fire is not quenched. Okay? They're specifically removing out the damnation that happens. What comes from us disobeying, disregarding. 45. And if thy foot offend thee, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter halt into life than having 2 feet to be cast into hell, into the fire that never shall be quenched, where their worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. It says it twice. It says it twice back to back, and they removed both of them. Why? Because they do not want you to know the truth that is in God. Okay, now we're going to Mark 17:16. Actually, we'll go to 11:26 first. 11:26. More words of Jesus removed. But if ye do not forgive, neither will your Father which is in heaven forgive your trespasses. Okay, I'm going to go up and read just a little bit. Because what this is right here is a prayer. Instructions on prayer. That's what this is right here. It's instructions on prayer that's being removed to confuse, to destroy Christians' ability to get forgiveness from the Lord. If you are not following the actual doctrine of Jesus, if you're not following Jesus, and you're not listening to his commands on how to pray, how to fast, how to do these things, how can you be truly, fully honoring God? Let's go up to 25. And when ye stand praying, forgive if ye have aught against any, that your Father also which is in heaven may forgive you your trespasses. That's 25, 11:25. But 11:26 goes on to say, from then, if prophet, why during demon possession it can cast out the demon. I'm not sure who you're specifically talking about, Jesus. Well, how can he cast out demon? Well, because he's the Son of God. It says that if he were of the devil, he wouldn't be able to cast out the devil, because a house divided amongst itself cannot stand. So how could Beelzebub cast out Beelzebub? But you're trying to get me off track. But if ye do not forgive, neither will your Father which is in heaven forgive your trespasses. Okay? So it specifically goes right there to let you know that you must have gotten forgiveness first. You must forgive first to receive forgiveness first. Apologize, I misspoke right there. You must give forgiveness first to receive it from God. Okay? Now, the next one after that is 15:26. We're still in Mark. 15:26. And then we'll be going to 17:16. For those of you who want to jump ahead. 15:26. Okay. And the superscription of his accusation was written over. The King of the Jews. Why do they remove that the superscription of his accusation was written over? That it was the King of the Jews. Not the claimed King of the Jews. Not supposed King of the Jews. Not we called him the King of the Jews. The King of the Jews. Period. He is the King of the Jews. That's what was written up there. Why do they remove that? Why do they remove that historically, under Pontius Pilate, Pilate wrote this and put it over his name. Put it over him whenever he crucified him. That he was the king. He is the king. He is the king. They're removing it because they're trying to confuse Christians. They're trying to obfuscate the words of God. They're trying to hide the truth. 17:16. I don't even have to go to the context clues around that. It's so blatantly obvious what they're doing. You don't even have to go to the context clues for that one. Oh, so you're just trying to hide who he was. Huh. Okay. Well, I'm wondering if that's supposed to be Luke 17:16. We'll see. I'm going to leave out 17:16 because that one, I don't have a Mark 17 at all. I'm guessing it must have been meant for Luke, but I'm going to just skip it because I can't verify that it's not Securing Truth. Oh, bro, I love that. I love that. That's getting pinned. Yes, that has been the devil's practice since the very beginning, brother. All right. I'm only going to be able to get through a couple more of these. I'll do more of these tonight whenever I get back home from work. 1736. Oh, this is the two men being in the field. Okay. Two men shall be in the field. One shall be taken and the other left. Why did they remove this? Why did they remove that one will be taken and one will be left? Why did they remove that? Right above it, it has it about the women. I tell you that night there shall be two men in one bed. The one shall be taken and the other shall be left. Two women shall be grinding together. The one shall be taken, the other left. And then 36, two men shall be in the field. One shall be taken and the other one left. But the only one that they removed is that one. Is the men working in the field. So they don't want us to know that people will see people taken out of the field together. And these are words of Jesus, once again. They consistently are removing words of Jesus or words of affirmation of who Jesus was. Instructions on prayer, instructions on fasting, instructions on how to defeat the demonic forces of this world. Let's go to John 5, 3 and 4. This one, they removed two verses at the same time. Oh, come on. Struggling with turning the pages here. Still early yet, right? All right, John 5, verse 3 and 4. Okay. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever then first after the troubling of the water stepped in was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. This is talking about the miracle at the pool of Siloam. I'll read from the beginning of 5. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now, there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches. Okay? And they jump straight from having 5 porches to verse 5. And a certain man was there, which had an infirmity